Hello everyone, I am JVN Dr. Mohammad Miraj Alam, Assistant Professor of Economics, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. In this section of video, I will discuss about the Higher Education Financing Agency 2008. This is the part of this video is a part of status of education in India. Uh, this is a part of Indian economy program, a paper which taught in a second semester BA program. As we all know that the problem of funding to the education in India always is debatable. Academia, social activists, and the political parties always discussed a lot about the education financing in India. But when it comes to the financing to the higher education, it is more debatable because we are expecting if a person in a higher education, he or she can be able to earn profit and he or she can able to earn some income so they can pay their fees. So government should reduce the funding to the higher education and and funding should be diverted to the primary and uh, secondary level of education, right? But in the case of India, it is hardly possible to divert the higher education funding to the primary and the secondary level of education because as I all know that I have already discussed in my previous video, India is a country where only 26% gross enrollment ratio in the higher education. As compared to other developing and developed countries, it is very less, right? Uh, the role of higher education is very important, especially country like India, where India is a developing country, and to develop our economy, we need huge amount of trained and skilled labor force, which only comes through the higher education, right? For the skilled labor, we have to provide trainings, we have to provide them quality education at the higher level. Otherwise, the population will be a burden for India. It will not be a resources anymore, right? So, in the case of higher education financing, it is always in the debate and discussion among the academicians, social activists, and politicians how much amount should be given to the higher level of education. As I all know that India is a country where political setup is a very state and central quasi-federal. India is a country of quasi-federal structure. There is a state university and there is a central university. Most of the state universities are not in the good condition. There may be a various reason, right? Now let's specifically discuss about the Higher Education Financing Agency 2018. To looking the matter related to the financing of higher education, Government of India commissioned an agency which named Higher Education Financing Agency 2018, right? Introduced in 2018-19, Higher Education Financing Agencies, a joint venture of Ministry of Human Resource Development and the Canara Bank. With an initial capital base of 1000 crore, it will act as a not for profit organization but will leverage funds for the market from the market and supplement them with the donations and the CSR fund. Right. These funds will be used to finance improvement in infrastructure in top institutions. It has been tasked with raising 1 lakh crore to finance infrastructure improvement in higher education by 2022. Foreign Education Provision Bill 2013. There is another bill to improve the higher education in India, that is Foreign Education Providers Bill 2013. There are no account of programs delivered by foreign universities in India right now. Inadequate regulation has led to low quality courses offered in this sector. Foreign institutions bill was not been able to pass in the parliament. However, Equip report mentioned about this revival of this bill. There are many other schemes and initiatives like Swayam, which offers open online courses from class 9th to postgraduate graduation free of cost. Gyan and Imprint, which are primarily focused on elite institutes like IITs and Indian Institute of Science, IIScs, right? Other major issue connected with the education sector in India. The Indian education sector is also affected by other issues like politicization of campuses, gender parity problem, poor quality standards, etc. These are the issues which have taken the grip in which the high grip of higher education is right now. Gender disparities is common and you will found prevalent in Indian institutions, especially in the higher education. Politicization of campuses. JP movement had provided an impetus to the politicization of students. In Indian higher education institutions, university politics has become a launchpad for political ambitions. Though campus politics is vital for democracy, as it makes students better citizens, the negative side of politicization of campuses has been visible across Indian campuses. A recent incident in Kerala University is a case in point. One of the most important problem of student politics in India is that it acts as an appendage to political parties without having any independent identity or autonomy. Right. The next point is the gender parity. Uh, there is two-pronged gender discrimination in India education system. Right. Uh, Here is a gender parity index in enrollment. You will find that there is a huge gap between male and female education level, particularly in the higher education. Right. The Red shows the primary level of education, which is 1 to 5. Yeah, take will take. A red line shows the primary level of education, that is 1 to 5, secondary 9 to 10, and higher education, yellow. Okay, this is the gender parity index in India. There is a two-pronged gender discrimination in India, in the Indian education system, by parents sending boys to private and girls to the government schools. Right. This is the figure of gender parity index. Okay. In India, by parents sending boys to private and girls to government schools. Economic Survey 2018-19, enrollment of girls is higher than that of boys in government schools. But the parents get reverse in private schools. The gender gap in enrollment in private schools has consistently increased across age groups. By teachers reinforcing beliefs that boys are quick learners. Girls are eased out of school to work in chorus or get married. Government has launched Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao, a campaign to generate awareness and improve the efficiency of welfare services intended for girls in India. Economic Survey 2018-19 opinions that Beti Bachao Beti Padhao has been a success and proposed to extend the cause of gender equality by coining the slogan of बदलाव, बेटी आपकी धन लक्ष्मी और विजय लक्ष्मी, to enhance the contribution of women in the workforce and the economy. For ranking states based on gender disparity, digital gender atlas for advancing girls education was launched by MHRD. Right. Gender parity index in education reflect the discrimination against girls in access to the educational opportunities. In higher education, gender disparities still prevail in enrollment. Efforts by government through programs like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao and Beti Bachao, the gender parity index has improved substantially at the primary and the secondary level of enrollment. Right. Quality of education. Learning outcomes are not assessed in India as a numerical outcomes. 12th five-year plan had noted the need for measuring improving learning outcomes. Right. The period of 12th five-year plan was 2012 to 17. Children of illiterate parents can't supplement school studies at home and also can't afford expensive tuitions, leading to vicious cycle of illiteracy. So this was the quality of education, and other institutions mean to which are assigned to work for improving the quality of education in India. There is an organization known as ASER, ASER, which access the which analyze the quality education in India at the primary level. That is ASER. Assessment of School Educational Report 2018. From 2014 to 18 suggests that from 2014 to 18 there is a gradual improvement in both basic literacy and the numeracy for the class third student, but only a quarter of them are at a grade level ability to read and do basic operations like subtraction, subclass, secondary level. The report also shows that 1 out of 4 children leaving class 8th are without basic reading skills, ability to read at least class secondary level.
Right.
So this was the quality of education in India. Uh, the ASER assessment of school educational report is the most effective report which are recognized by across in the world. They produces every year, every 2 year, a report on the quality of schools, quality of teachers, infrastructure, and many other issues. I think this is sufficient in this part of video. In the next part of video, I will discuss the new topic. Thank you so much watching for this video.